So we'll start on that note, and Charles Ambaiowei joins us. He's the acting president of Ijaw National Congress. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. Well, many will be of the impression that that launch of the cleanup was, at least, or should be some sort of, as they said yesterday, icebreaker to calm frayed nerves and let everyone know that the authorities actually do mean well. But while that's happened, you still have headlines of several activities blowing up, threats in the Niger Delta region. How do we reconcile this? What, in your perspective, do you think is going on with these attacks and threats coming from the Niger Delta?
Good morning, Chamberlain, and your colleagues in the studio. It is a great opportunity to offer perspectives to compatriots of our great country, Nigeria. As acting president of the Ijaw National Congress, which is dedicated to serving the interests, defending the rights, welfare of the Ijaws, I'll do my best. I try to galvanize the perspectives that the Ijaw nation, being players with the rest of Nigeria, can help find solutions. To be specific to the Ogoni cleanup roadmap that has been launched based on the UNEP recommendations that are taking so long to take off, which happened yesterday. It is very historic. The Ijaw National Congress, the Ijaw nation, and I indeed will believe all good people of the Niger Delta endorse it. It is just a beginning, and we hope that it's going to go through a very strategic, meticulous, and undelayed process. Why do I use these words? Part of what the Niger Delta over the years have noted with the things that the Nigerian federal government does with the Niger Delta people is that there is plethora of failed promises. So this one, being a very critical element, that is cleanup of the environment, that is going to recreate our biodiversity, is one we believe should not be toyed with. It's one we believe excuses of no funding should not crop up. It's one we believe that participation of locals should be as maximally utilized as possible. Now, you asked why we had such a historic day yesterday, and on the other hand, the news headlines everywhere is series of violence by way of threats. Well, you must have to note, or all of us have to note, that some of the actions or activities that are happening in that region are actually things that have virtually cooked up over a long period of time. And therefore, it's like you start boiling water. When it has come to the point, it will evaporate. Whether you remove the kettle from the fire or not, I think the vapor will just escape. Therefore, what our country and our people need to do is not to see this critical historical point where the Ogoni has presented. Good kudos to the President of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, for commencing it, but at the same time, the problems on ground in Niger Delta have surfaced and will continue to surface in its volatility because, like I said, of what has been quite a long historical period that things have terribly, terribly gone bad in administration by way of federal government, state governments, local governments. And there has been this underhand collaboration with oil industry operators throughout the Niger Delta in such a way that what we have come to observe is that a region that you can see from when we gained independence in 1960 all the way through to, let's say, the early 80s, or even up to near 90, the Niger Delta people were very peaceful people, they were very loving people, and they were very kind to strangers. Pipelines that you are talking of today that are being blown up and sabotaged were virtually running, crisscrossing people's farmlands, people's house backyards, people's streams and rivers where they go to wash and do every manner of occupation. And not one single pipeline was ever vandalized or destroyed.
So what went wrong now?
I need to also add that in the same way that the people never tampered with anything, you have to ask yourself, was the governments, were the oil companies, the operators of this industry, were they developing the Niger Delta area in pari passu to bring the people's living standard, welfare, and environment to what you will say is comparatively of international standard? The answer is no.
Mr. Ambaiowei, allow me comment here. Just allow me comment here for a minute. I think you've highlighted the problems and talked about the peaceful nature of the people of the Niger Delta, which definitely, if you go back into our history books, you just realize that you just hit a nail on the head. Once peaceful, but now we're getting to see that things have gone the other way. And if it's gone south, what do you think should be the solution to some of these issues? You just talked about what has happened to the environment there, what has happened to the people there, what has happened to the communities there. But there must be a better way than what we're seeing now. Are you in talks with some of these people who are also agitating for better things for the communities?
Thank you for that question. But let me start by responding to say that we